Greetings. Welcome to the Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for January 2020. On January 31st, Friday at 1:30 in the afternoon, the temperature is 42 degrees, down from 41 at noon when I launched. It's going to cool off, obviously, but tomorrow mid-40s, and then Sunday 66, record 68, so we'll see, maybe we'll break it. But yep, we are mid-Friday afternoon. Very cloudy, very cloudy. My fingers are cold from holding this metal kayak paddle, but yeah. I'm on the Moreau River, a mile and 3/4 out to the Missouri River, and now a half mile back to this point with the train bridge, one of my favorite spots. I just like that bridge. Banks are very muddy. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of mud flow. I couldn't launch the past couple of weeks, or past couple of months, because of mud on this particular ramp. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able today. I thought maybe there might be some ice. Because January, you know, ice. You know, or else maybe still mud. But as it turns out, no ice at all. When I went out to the Missouri, there were a couple of chunks. That was it. And you know, a week ago, it was choked with ice. I mean, big chunks of ice, and I don't know where they came from, because I haven't seen any in our local streams. But yeah, last month I talked about when I came here, there was 9 inches of mud on the ramp. You know, thick mud. And I thought, well, okay. And as it turns out, it was probably more than that. But I thought maybe I could launch 2 weeks ago when I came here. There was about 4 inches of muck. And there was truck tire marks halfway down. You know, someone had started to back down. So I couldn't do that, and I spent an hour and a half driving around at different places, different launches, check them out, 3 different places. They were all muddy and I couldn't launch, and so here I did get it in at the end of the month, so yeah, I've got my January kayak in. And who knows, maybe Sunday I will get a February kayak in. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. You know, I holding out hopes. I followed the Bills, watched their games all season, and I was hoping they'd make it. It wasn't meant to be. But Kansas City, yeah, Kansas City. That'll be cool because they've got a great team. Obviously playing San Francisco, but they've got great offense, defense, quarterback. A lot of traffic lately. It sounds like there might be a train approaching. I may pause in a second. I guess we'll see. But yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. That'll be pretty cool. I haven't seen any wildlife. Oh, wait a minute, I did. I saw one eagle. It was a couple hundred yards away in a tree, but it flew off. And I've heard kingfishers, crows, and woodpeckers, but that's it. Yeah, no real wildlife. Muddy as hell. No turtles, obviously. And so that's kayaking and weather. And a train approaches. Let's see what it is. Let's see if it shows up on camera. Because there are 2 tracks there. You might not even see it. Nope. Well, that one took a while. It was moving pretty slow. So anyway, yeah, Super Bowl. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. I've got some other, oh yeah, notes. I wrote notes so I wouldn't forget. The roof, I talked about that last time. As it turns out, once it was inspected, the hail damage on it wasn't sufficient enough to have the roof replaced, so I'll just have those 2 shingles done. Right now, it's got something temporary on there, and that's fine, you know, for the weather we have right now. But that's going to be replaced or fixed. And oh, trip, yeah, I went to Buffalo. I talked about that. I went to Buffalo mid-December, and went back for just Memorial Service. So yeah, but I did get to see family. Family I haven't seen for a while. Plus, got to see my granddaughter, Olivia. So that was pretty cool. Oh boy, the weather driving back. Driving was fine, except from Arcade to Cleveland to go back to stay at Justin's before continuing home. We were on I-86, Yeah, Southern Tier Expressway, and it was white knuckle, and the snow, oof, it was. I don't miss driving in winter snow. I don't miss that at all. Okay, moving on. Linux. Windows has stopped support of Windows 7 effective January 4th, so I installed Linux on my laptop and on Bonnie's laptop, and it seems to be working fine. In fact, I had an old laptop that stopped booting a couple of years ago, and I replaced it. So I tried installing Linux on it, and now it works. So I have 2 laptops. Yeah. So I think I covered everything. Roof, Linux, trip, Super Bowl. Oh, health. Health, yeah, my health. I had some tests this month, a couple of them. I had an echocardiogram, and it showed that I have a heart condition I've had all my life. It's called interatrial septal aneurysm. No, it's not aneurysm when you think of a bulging blood vessel waiting to burst, but it's a bulge on the septum that separates the left and the right atria, the heart, the upper chambers. And there's a bulge on one side, and 2% of the population maybe has it. So once that was detected, the doctor decided to send me for another echocardiogram, but instead of being transthoracic where it's outside, they put that wand down my throat to my esophagus. Transesophageal echocardiogram. Had to be put out for that one. And it showed that I have another heart condition that I've had all my life. PFO. Patent foramen ovale. That's a hole in my heart. In that septum, there's a hole. Now, when we're born as a fetus, we have a hole there so that the blood can flow from the umbilical cord through to the rest of the body, because the lungs aren't developed yet, so you don't send blood that way. And then that closes up. After you're born, that opening closes. Well, it did not close for me, and apparently 25% of the adult population has this, and it's not something to worry about under normal conditions. However, things like symptoms like a stroke are something to be concerned about, because that can happen, and it's what happened with me. I had a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini stroke, just a couple months ago. It was pretty minor. Didn't lose any mobility, didn't affect my speech, anything like that. I stood up from a chair in the afternoon, and I was losing my balance, and I thought it was the usual vertigo that I get, from my sinus headaches. So I took a nap. Fortunately, I woke up, But then at dinner time, I was doing some kind of weird stuff. I was trying to figure out how to do things, like trying to open a can with a bottle opener, trying to figure out how that worked. It doesn't work. And I was losing some of my words. And that lasted for like maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour. And then it was gone. So I told the doctor about it, so he sent me for those tests. So when you have that opening, there's a higher likelihood of stroke. Say a blood clot in your leg could, instead of going to your lungs to be filtered out, it could go through that hole and then go to your brain, cause problems. And as it turns out, it's something to keep into consideration if you are a scuba diver. Should be a conservative conservative scuba diver, and no deep dives, no strenuous dives. And I was doing cave diving and, well, minor cave diving, but wreck diving and deep dives. So fortunately, that did not become a problem. See, what happens is the air bubbles that are in your blood, as you ascend, they can expand, and they have to dissolve in your system, okay? Well, they could expand, so you have to ascend at a certain rate so that they can dissolve as you're ascending, because the air is expanding as you ascend. If you have that hole, those air bubbles could pass through and go to your brain and cause an embolism. So fortunately, did not happen with me, and I'm pretty lucky in that regard, I guess. I know, I am. Yeah. So, yeah, this has been a long, long vlog, hasn't it? Train and everything. And a lot of news, But this has been your Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for January 2020. Ciao, folks. And vlog on.